In this video, let's cover 7.1 quadrilaterals notes, and we'll talk about parallelograms. So first question is, what is a quadrilateral? Well, that is a four-sided polygon. And a parallelogram is a special type of quadrilateral with two pair of parallel sides. There are some properties of parallelograms. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are also congruent. Adjacent angles are supplementary. That means they add to 180. And just a reminder that adjacent refers to angles that share a side. The diagonals are going to bisect each other, and the diagonals divide the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. All right, so I'm going to mark this up real quick. We know that opposite angles are congruent, so those two are congruent. These two angles are congruent. The diagonals are going to bisect each other, so that means this segment will equal this segment, and this segment will equal this segment. Since our opposite sides are also congruent, well, this side is going to be congruent to this side, and this side will be congruent to this side. So I've marked up quite a bit. I'm going to do this. Let's see. This side congruent to this side. This side congruent to this side. I think I'll leave it like that. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. Example 1. It wants us to find x. Well, since I know that opposite sides are congruent, I can set this expression equal to this expression and solve for x. If I subtract 4x on both sides and add 3 to both sides, I end up with 2x is equal to 20, and so x is equal to 10. All right, so that means if I substitute in the 10 for the x, that's 60 minus 3, that's 57. So AB is 57. AD is going to be, well, AD is going to be the same as BC, and so I can substitute in the 10 for the x here, and we'll get 50. In example 2, we have opposite angles are congruent, so I'll set those equal and solve for x. Subtract 2x on both sides, add 10. So that's 4x is equal to 20, and so x is equal to 5. If I substitute in for my x, 6 times 5 minus 10, 30 minus 10 is 20. So this angle is 20 degrees, and my x was 5. In example 3, I have adjacent angles. These are not congruent, but they're supplementary. That means they add to 180. So let's combine our like terms. I have 3 x's, and I'm going to add 7 more x's, so that's 10 x's. And I have negative 6, and I take away 4 more, so that's negative 10. Add 10 to both sides, so that gives me 190, and my x is equal to 119 when I divide by 10. All right, so now to figure out what these angles are, I need to substitute the 19 in for the x. So this is going to be 7 times 19 minus 4. I don't know what that is. 3 times 19 minus 6. Let's go to Desmos. 7 times 19 minus 4. All right, 129. And if I 3 times 19 minus 6 in Desmos, That's 51. And what we need to also notice is that 129 and 51, those add to 180. So we could have solved for that angle just by finding the supplement of 129. Either way, we know our answers. All right, example 4. So this is going to be the property that diagonals bisect each other, and when you bisect, you cut something exactly in half. So I know that these two segments are exactly the same. They're congruent. So let's solve for the x. So that's going to be negative 2x is equal to negative 12, so x is equal to 6. If I need to find out what AC is, well, if I plug in the 6 right here, 5 times 6 is 30. That means this segment here is 30. Well, that means also EC is 30. And so if I want to find the whole thing, 30 twice would make 60. In example number 5, let's see, what are we going to do here? Well, I know that opposite angles are congruent. So I know that y is going to be 49. I know that adjacent angles are supplementary. So if I add the 49 and x, that'll give me 180. So let's see, if I subtract 49 from 180, that gives me 131. All right, so I know that this angle here is 131. That is the supplement of 49. Now, since these are parallelograms, we know back from our lines unit that parallel lines cut by a transversal, corresponding angles are congruent. So Z is going to correspond with 49, and so we know that Z is also 49. And our last example, 6, let's see, what should we do? We know that diagonals bisect, so I know that 18 is congruent to 2x minus 6. And let's see, add 6. That's 24 is equal to 2x, so x is equal to 12 if we divide both sides by 2. And I also know that this 5y minus 10 is congruent to 30. Those are the parallel sides, and so I can set 5y minus 10 equal to 30. Add 10, so 5y is equal to 40, and divide by 5, so y is equal to 8. All right, that's it.